Well, hello everybody. I'm going to go ahead and put these on for Camille today. She came in and it just took us a little bit longer, so I will be doing these examples for you. So I hope you get a chance to look at them and I hope that they help. Camille started off and she rewrote this problem right here and she put 3 over 1 because she saw that these were all fractions. But then we're going to, instead of working with them as fractions, we're really going to work with them with the idea that we're going to find the common denominator and then we're going to multiply both sides by that common denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply this side by 15 and this side by 15, which is the common denominator between 3 and 5. So now I'm going to rewrite this all. Feel free to not do that if you can do it in your head, and if you can't yet, then I would just write it. So at this point, I'm going to change this 3 over 1 to 3 because 15 times 3 is going to be quite simple, minus 15 times 4 over 5 equals 15 times 1/3 y. Now at this point I'm going to get 45, oops, not 14, I'm going to get 45y minus, now this 5 will cancel with this 5 and that was 3 times 5 so that cancels there and I'm going to get 12 on top minus, now this 3 will cancel with this 15 and I'll get 3 times 5 so I'm going to get 5y. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract the 45y from both sides. Cancel. Minus 12 is equal to, over here I'm going to get negative 40y. Now at this point divide by negative 40 to both sides and I get, when I reduce this I can take a negative, a negative 4 out of the top and a negative 4 out of the bottom. Ooh, it's really bad the way I wrote that. That's why I hate writing it like that. I'll do it over here. So negative 4 divided by negative 4, and that gives me 3 over 10. We don't like that fraction, but that is the answer. Now, we're going to go ahead and check it. 3y minus 4/5 equals 1/3 y. Now I'm going to substitute that 3/10 in, so 3 over 10 minus 4/5 equals 1/3 times 3/10. Over here I'm going to have 3 over 1 really, so I get 9 over 10 minus, now instead of keeping this like this, I know I need to have it out of 10, so I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by that 2. I'm going to get 8 over 10 equals, over here I have a 3 that's going to cancel with that 3 and I'm going to get 1/10. 9 minus 8 is 1/10 equals 1/10. Check. Now at this time, if you're struggling with this, remember, pause it, look at it, let me know of the questions when it's over, but it's time to take these fractions on. So good luck. Here we go. Let's try number 7. Okay, so number 7, we look for the common denominator and see that it's 4. So I'm going to rewrite both sides, and I'm going to put them in brackets, and I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. I'm going to distribute that in, so I'm going to have 4 times 3/4 x minus 16. Is it okay? I just multiplied those and got that 16 equals 4 times 7 is 28 plus 4 times 1/2 x. Of course, remember, at any time you can get rid of this step. 3x minus 16 is equal to 28 plus half of 4 is 2x. Now I'm going to subtract 2x, and notice at that same time I'm going to need to add 16 to both sides. You can do that in 2 steps or in 1, whatever makes the most sense for you. This is going to give me x equals, and over here I'm going to get 14 and then another one, so 44. Now check it. I'm going to put a check on that one too. So I'm going to have 3/4 x minus 4 equals 7 plus 1/2 x. I'm going to substitute that 44 in. Minus 4 equals 7 plus 1/2 times 44. Now 4 goes into 44 11 times. 3 times 11 is 33 minus 4. I really like to finish one side and recognize what I got over there, and then hopefully I'll get the same on this side. So 7 plus half of 44 is 22. Yay! 22 plus 7 is 29. It checked out. All right, I'm going to flip. Now notice that number 6 is one that you already had in class, so I'm not going to do that one. You should have gotten that the left side, oh, you know what? I will do that one. Hold on. I will do it. Feel free to fast forward if you already have this one. Some of you might have done it differently. It doesn't matter how you do it. I'm going to go ahead and start this off by multiplying both sides by 4. Some of you didn't get it checked, so if you had trouble with it, you may not have been able to see it. So I'll go ahead and do this one. So 4 to both sides. The 4 cancels off. We get 3b plus 1 equals 3b times 3/4 times 4. b minus 5 times 4 is 20. Those 4's cancel off, and I get 3b plus 1 equals 3b minus 20. Now notice at this stage we have two 3b's. So if I subtract them, I end up with 1 equals negative 20. They are not equal. The b has disappeared. So it's either all answers work or no answers work. If these two were equal, it would be all answers. They are not, so it means no answers are possible. If I had to have set notation for the answer, I would say it's an empty set. Okay, for number 9. Starting off, I rewrite the problem. The common denominator is going to be 8. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 8. Now this is a little bit weird because I have that 1/4 outside. There are two ways to solve this. I'm going to show you both and you can decide which way you like it. What I recognize over here is that these are all factors. So if I distribute this 1/4 into the parentheses first, I will show you that. I would have 1/4 times 7, which would give me 7 over 4, plus 1/4 times 3 would give me 3 over 4g. I'm going to need a little bit more space. All right. Is equal to, now if I were to do this over here, I would cancel those off and I would get negative g. Now I can multiply the 8 through here. I do 8 times 7/4. 8 times 3/4 g equals negative g. The 4 and the 8 cancel, and I get 2, so that means this is 14, plus the 4 and the 8 cancel, and I get 2 times 3 is 6g equals negative g. Then I'm going to go ahead and subtract 6g from both sides, and I get 14 is equal to negative 7g. Divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 7 and I get an answer of negative 2. Okay, now, before I said that there was another way to have done this, and I'm going to put that right over here. What if I had just said 8 times 1/4? Let's see what happens. If I did 8 times 1/4, that would make this a 2. 7 plus 3g equals, this would still be negative g. Now if I distribute the 2, I would get 14 plus 6g equals negative g minus 6g. 14 is equal to negative 7g. Divide by negative 7. Negative 2 is equal to g. So notice that that step is the same all the way down to here. And it doesn't matter, as long as these are factors, you can multiply them in any order you want to. So think about it this way. If I had 2 times 4 times 3, I can multiply these first, Or I could use associative property and multiply these first. It doesn't matter which order I multiply them in. The trick is some of us get confused when there's a plus sign. I can't just multiply these two numbers and not include the 3. There's no property that allows you to ignore that 3. So you do have to distribute it to each term if you were multiplying this times this whole set of parentheses. That is why there's only these two ways to solve that. I hope it helps. I did not do the check for this, for number 9. If you have trouble with the check, let me know and I'll help you tomorrow. Have a good day.